Apparently we're not ugly, we're just doing our makeup wrong. Supposedly from TikTok, we're supposed to be doing our makeup according to our contrast level. I have light skin and I'm definitely not high contrast. That's a no. I don't think I'm medium contrast either. My eyebrows and my hair isn't dark enough. I think I'm low contrast, which means I have been doing my makeup wrong. I'm gonna do low contrast makeup today. Low contrast means that everything's kind of the same shade. My eye color, my skin color, and my hair color are very similar shades. I'm gonna like gel my brows up like normal, but I'm gonna keep them my natural hair color. I'm not gonna fill them in super dark. Low contrast makeup doesn't necessarily mean no makeup. It just means that everything's kind of the same color. Like the blush, the bronzer, the lip, the eyes are all kind of the same color and close to your natural skin tone. I prep my skin with the Ilia Base Face Milk. I need some hydration and it's been so dry lately. For foundation, you want a foundation that's like literally your perfect match to your skin tone. You don't want it to be like super different. And Armani Luminous Silk 4.75 is my perfect shade. Like look at that shade matte. Low contrast makeup, everything's supposed to be super blended so there's no harsh lines. Everything's supposed to look very soft and flow nicely. Like you're not supposed to be able to tell where the foundation starts or stops. And for bronzer, you're not supposed to have a lot of contrast in your bronzer either. Just a couple shades darker than your foundation shade. This is normally a bronzer that I would think is too light for me because I like darker bronzer. My normal makeup routine is definitely more of a medium contrast makeup look because I like a lot of bronzer. I love a lot of blush. See how the bronzer warmed up my face, but it looks so natural. Like you can't see any harsh lines. If it was up to me, I would definitely be layering on darker bronzer, but that's not part of the rule. No dramatic blush, which is very hard for me. It's supposed to be like super close to your skin tone as well. So I have Tower 28 Magic Hour or Road Freckle. I'm gonna do Tower 28 because it's a little bit more of a sheer formula, so it's a little bit easier not to go overboard. We all know I have a very heavy hand. That blush is really pretty though. I think I'm gonna stop here. It's really hard not to keep applying blush. For concealer, you're not supposed to do like a super bright under eye because that's too much contrast. You're only supposed to do like 1 to maybe 2 shades lighter than your foundation shade. Also using the Luminous Silk Concealer in the shade 5. This is just such a skin light concealer, that's why I chose it. This actually looks really good though. Can't use a pink powder either. That's so hard for me because I always use a pink powder, so I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. Okay, I feel like I need to fill my eyebrows because they look lighter than my hair color and it's supposed to be the same shade. I'm using this brow pencil from Make Beauty in the shade Cool Taupe, which is pretty much my hair color. Lightly filling them in where I already have brow hairs. I'm not gonna make them like any bigger. I feel like this makeup actually looks really flattering. Go to part 2. Get ready with me. I'm supposed to go to brunch with my boyfriend, but he's acting so strange right now. So he randomly texted me last night when I was out and sent me a restaurant and said, meet me here tomorrow at 12:30, which is kind of strange. Side note, this is my first time using the Laneige Glowy Serum, and this is like the perfect skin prep for dry skin. So what's weird is my boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years and never once has he asked me to meet him at a restaurant. And the restaurant's really close to my apartment. Like I could literally walk there. So like, why wouldn't he just pick me up? I asked him like 5 times, just pick me up. And he's like, no. So something just feels kind of off. So I tried calling him last night and he didn't answer. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's sleeping. So I tried calling him multiple times this morning and he will not answer my call, but he answers my text. And I'm like, literally, what is going on? My dog scratched me this morning. He likes to wake me up by like literally kicking me in the face. It's fucking rude. So yeah, my boyfriend's either surprising me with something, breaking up with me, or I'm just crazy and he just wants to take me to a normal brunch. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking and it's completely normal and I'm just a crazy person. I am a Virgo, so I do tend to overthink and overanalyze literally everything, so let me know if I'm crazy. But we were kind of arguing a little bit yesterday, so that's why I'm like, oof, this can't be good. What's also weird is no one's been answering my phone calls today. Like I tried calling my mom like I do literally every day, and she didn't answer, so I texted her and I'm like, hi. Still didn't answer me, so I called it again, like, bitch, why are you ignoring me? And she hasn't answered, so I would like to vent. Mom, please answer me. Here, do you see how dry my lips are right now? I need to use a lip scrub. Okay, this feels so good on my dry lips. Like, they were really crusty. This is the Colleen Rothschild lip scrub. It's so good. So I'm so anxious right now because I'm a planner, which is also probably because I'm a Virgo. So I like to know exactly what I'm walking into. I want to plan for it and prepare. So like if you're surprising me, I want to prepare for a surprise. And if you're breaking up with me or you want to talk to me, I want to prepare for a chat, you know? I did my eyebrows thinner today and I kind of like the thin eyebrow look on me. I'm using the M Cosmetics blush in the shade Baby. I don't have to be there for like literally 2 hours from now, but no one was answering my calls and I needed someone to talk to, so I'm talking to y'all. Okay, I'm so glad I actually bought this. I've been thinking about it for a while and I was like, I'm just gonna do it because like you can see the glow peeking through the foundation. That's amazing. I'm setting my under eyes with my Kosas foundation. I desperately need to buy new powder puffs from Amazon because mine are like gone and crusty. I'm doing a mixture of these two blushes from the Patrick Ta palette and I think I got way too much on my brush. Patrick Ta contour. I know I have a ton of blush right now. I'm gonna fix it. Whenever I put too much blush on, I'll like just bake over the blush and it like makes it look so much better. I don't know what happened, but the app like deleted all of my last clips. So right now I'm doing mascara with the Tarte mascara. I started using lash serum again and I can definitely notice a difference in the length of my lashes. A little refi liner, Merit lip oil on top. All right, a little anxious right now, but I will let you guys know how my brunch goes. Let's do half my face with Ulta's best sellers and the other half with Ulta's worst sellers. Ulta's worst selling primer is this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I'm just kidding. This is obviously the best selling primer. It's one of the most viral primers literally ever, and it's actually one of my favorites. We know and love her. She's hydrating, she's grippy. My makeup looks flawless when I wear this, and it lasts a long time. I love that the best seller is affordable. The worst selling primer is honestly from a brand that I've never heard of before. It's called J-Cat. This is their Prime and Glow Face Illuminator. This literally had terrible reviews on Ulta and it's looking like holographic. No, but like why is it blue? In what world would I need a holographic blue highlighter? And it smells like coconuts. The best selling foundation is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I can't get it open. I feel like this is a classic foundation and surprisingly I've never tried it, so this is gonna be my first impression. I don't know how I've never tried this. This has been around forever. This is a matte long wearing foundation, full coverage. Wow, this is beautiful. I've definitely been missing out and I would honestly say this is more of like a natural finish than a super matte finish. Worst selling foundation is this LA Girl tinted foundation. We're already off to like the worst start on the worst seller side. Like I don't even know how this is gonna look over this primer. So this is supposed to be a natural finish foundation with sheer to medium coverage. So that's kind of weird. I've never heard of sheer to medium. And I feel like we're not even giving it a fair shot because the primer is literally blue and this isn't even covering the primer. I think that primer was literally the worst makeup product I've ever put on my face. And the foundation doesn't seem to be bad. It seems to be more of like a skin tint. Like it's very natural. The best selling bronzer is the Dibs Desert Island Duos. Love the formula of these. They're super creamy. I feel like Dibs recently launched in Ulta too. So for them to be the #1 bestseller, that's kind of crazy. They definitely deserve it though. This formula is great and it's nice you get a blush on the other side of it. The worst selling bronzer is the Pacifica Sun Dreams Bronze. It actually comes with like a ton of products. It's like low-key looking more like a blush. Like this kind of reminds me of Road Teddy, like a terracotta color. Yeah, definitely looks more like a blush on me because it's so like red undertone. The formula is honestly kind of dry. Like I'm having a hard time applying this. Yeah, it's definitely just really patchy. I'm not liking this formula. The best-selling blush is Benetton. And honestly, I don't really normally consider this a blush. When I sorted through blushes on Ulta, this was the #1 bestseller, so I guess we have to go with it. I know it's a cheek and lip tint. I just use it more as a lip tint, but it is looking really pretty on the cheeks. Worst-selling blush is this Essence Blush Lighter Stick. This is from their like Coral collection. It looks really pretty. Apply it to the back of my hand. Look at how pretty that is. It's like a highlighter and a blush. I think this is pretty. I don't think it deserves to be the worst seller. Like, that's a little rude. Best-selling concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape. I haven't used a Tarte Shape Tape concealer in forever. I love how Ulta has a lot of like classic cult favorites as their best sellers still. Like when I did Sephora, it was all like the new trendy products. Forgot how flawless of an under eye this concealer gives. The worst selling concealer is this CoverGirl Simply Ageless Concealer. And yes, this was the best shade I could find. The shade range was terrible. And wait for it, look at the applicator. It's literally a plastic applicator. Like, product doesn't even stick to it. I see why this is the worst seller. Like, I don't know. The shade range, the applicator, like I can't even get product off of this. So far, the Ulta worst sellers have been terrible. Like I understand why they're the worst sellers, but when I did Sephora, they weren't that bad. Best selling setting powder is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Setting Powder. I definitely see why. This is such a good setting powder. You can't go wrong. The worst selling setting powder, we have this one from Essence, also from the Life in Coral collection. This must have not been a good collection for them. I mean, it's blurring out the skin and brightening up that terrible concealer. It doesn't seem like a bad product. It just seems like a normal translucent setting powder. I will say something really bad is happening around my nose. Like, I don't know if it's the foundation, the primer, the powder, I don't know, but it's like clinging around my nose. Here is the bestseller side so far, and here is the worst seller side. We're only halfway done, so go to part 2 to see the rest of the look. I'm gonna show you all of my favorite drugstore makeup products that I think are just as good as any high-end product out there. If you know me, you know that I love my high-end makeup, but these few drugstore products that I'm about to show you are so good. I just haven't been giving them enough love. Starting out with the e.l.f. Whoa Glow Sunscreen. This is like just as good as the Super Goop. I don't know why you would buy the Super Goop and not this, and it primes your skin. This blends in so easily, and look at the glow that this gives my skin. For brows, I've been using this for years. It's the Got to Be Glued gel, and I put it in my brows and it just keeps them up all day long. You do have to be careful though, because you can get white flakes, so you just have to make sure your eyebrows are clean. I'm not gonna lie, I have had issues with this flaking before my brows, but that's because I'm lazy and I didn't clean my brows out completely before applying this. And you do have to clean around your brows to make sure that there's no gel. It's gonna mess up your foundation. But I kid you not, this is way better than any high-end gel product I've ever used. This keeps my brows in place, not moving. They're literally glued down to your face, and I've never found anything else that does that. This is the best drugstore brow pencil. I've been using this forever. It's a L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. It's literally the same thing as the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I love how thin it is. And you already know I love my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is like my third bottle of this. It keeps your makeup on so long because it has a tacky finish. See, your makeup will not go anywhere. Yes, another e.l.f. product. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and if you haven't tried this out yet, I don't know what you're doing. It's exactly like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. For a fraction of the price, it's amazing. And none of this is sponsored. e.l.f. just has so many good products that are exactly like high-end products. Okay, and I love this next one. This has been my favorite skin tint of the summer. It is amazing. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint. It's just the most skin-like skin tint I own. It's way better than a lot of high-end products. It has no business having such great coverage, but also being the most skin-like product. Like, it literally covered my burn on my forehead, but it looks like skin. I cannot say enough great things about this. Joa Beauty Setting Spray is my favorite drugstore setting spray. It keeps your makeup on a really long time, and it has a very fine mister on it, and it feels super high-end and doesn't blast you in the face. The e.l.f. Putty Bronzer is just as good as any of my high-end bronzers. I just wish that it had a bigger pan because my brush doesn't really fit in there, but like, come on. Look at my skin. This is a side with bronzer, and this is without. So pretty. And the e.l.f. Putty Blushes are also amazing. This is in the shade Bora Bora, which is a very similar shade to the Rare Beauty Happy. Like, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that this blush right here doesn't look high-end. And we have the Catrice Concealer. This is their True Skin High Coverage Concealer, and yes, it is very high coverage and super long lasting. I actually don't know if you can get Catrice at the drugstore, but it's drugstore prices and they're so good. It's a very hydrating and buildable formula, and it doesn't look cakey at all, which is a big concern when it comes to high coverage concealers. Wet n Wild Hello Halo Highlighter. I put a little bit on the back of my hand and then apply it with a sponge. Look at that. That is stunning. My complexion right now is so pretty, and I feel like I would have had the exact same results if I would have used high-end products. I'm setting with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is just a classic. Been using this forever. In my opinion, I think this is the best powder at the drugstore. Like, my under eyes are giving flawless. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. This is a Milani blush in the shade Dolce Pink. Look at that. That is pretty. This is one of the best blush formulas I've ever tried at the drugstore. It's luminous. It has a really pretty sheen to it, and it's blurring. It doesn't emphasize any pores or texture. It is just stunning. Okay, on to lips. This video is already getting very long. The ColourPop lip liners are amazing. I specifically love the shade BFF. Love how creamy they are. They just glide onto your lip, and this shade is like your lips but better for my skin tone. You already knew that I was gonna pull this out. This is my all-time favorite lip gloss at the drugstore. Like, literally top 5 lip glosses ever. It's so juicy. Well, it's literally called NYX This Is Juice Gloss. So the formula feels like a lip oil. It's not sticky, it's super hydrating. And if you want your lips to literally look like glass, you need this. I don't feel like doing my eyes or mascara today, but this is my favorite mascara. I've been using it since high school. It's a L'Oreal Telescopic. And I don't have a powder bronzer that I love from the drugstore, so if you have any recs, let me know. Here's our finished drugstore makeup look. Guys, I'm literally shook right now. Like, I knew these products were good, but I haven't used them in a while altogether, and I'm impressed. These are amazing.
have no mercy, there's no way up, so I'm going down. Still I keep on living, so you pull me closer when I have no mercy. Let's carry on, no reasons to